Well, the news is that Malachi Coleman has, quote, decommitted and will not play at Nebraska starting in the 2023 season. He'll take his talents elsewhere. Now, is this a big deal? Is this something fans should be concerned about? Or is this no big deal? Is this something that'll be a blip on the radar as we look back over our shoulder and breathe a sigh of relief that 2022 is behind us? Well, those are good questions, and we will address those questions and more in just a moment. I'm Don Collins. This is the Don Collins Show, and the topic today is Malachi Coleman. Before we get started talking about Malachi Coleman, I want to offer you a chance to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and email me your mailing address, because if you'll do those things, if you'll subscribe, hit the notification bell, and email me your mailing address, I will send you a free card from the 2015 Nebraska Panini Honors Set. That's got a whole bunch of great players like Rex Burkhead and Amir Abdul and Ndamukong Suh. Lots of great players in that set. Just subscribe, hit the notification bell, and email me to doncollins@mail.com, doncollins@mail.com, and I will send you, if you'll send me your mailing address, a free card from the 2015 Panini Nebraska Honors Set. And now, let's talk about Malachi Coleman. When I saw the news that Malachi had, quote, decommitted, it was not a surprise to me. In fact, why don't we revisit what I said about Malachi Coleman specifically on October 25th in my video called "Which Clipboard Should Mickey Joseph Carry?" Then let me tell you what you're facing at Nebraska if Mickey Joseph is not the head coach. Write this day down, whatever day you watch this video. If from now until the end of the season he's not made the head coach, let me tell you what you're seeing. You'll see a mass exodus of players that would have happened already had Mickey Joseph not been made interim head coach. And if he does not remain as head coach, folks like Malachi Coleman also will leave. So this is not a surprise to me. If you came to Nebraska because of Mickey Joseph and Mickey Joseph isn't going to be the coach, then it stands to reason that you may leave. Malachi Coleman not playing for Nebraska was a done deal the moment it was obvious Mickey Joseph wasn't going to be the coach. This has nothing to do with Matt Rule and his coaching staff. If you're concerned about whether or not Matt Rule and his coaching staff are going to be good recruiters, I wouldn't concern myself with that. I wouldn't worry about that at all. This has 100% to do with Mickey Joseph and Malachi Coleman. And no matter who the coach was, I can't think of a coach that would have kept Malachi on the team, because Malachi was here just on the flimsiest of threads anyway, and that was Mickey Joseph remaining head coach. This is a good thing, maybe a great thing for Nebraska, because someone else will take the spot of Malachi Coleman. And we don't know who that is yet. It's a player whose name was to be determined somewhere down the road, but that player is going to come to Nebraska, do great things, and we're going to look back on this, and the short-term loss we may feel with Malachi Coleman leaving, we're going to be very happy about the results of the next player who takes his place, because someone else will do a great job for Nebraska. And there's a name that we will remember for a very long time, long after we've forgotten about Malachi Coleman. And that leads me to my final point. Nebraska is going to be fine without Malachi Coleman. If you're concerned about Nebraska losing a bunch of recruits, don't be. There are hundreds of players, thousands of players who want to play at the University of Nebraska. Malachi Coleman just one in a long list of players who will come to Nebraska and put on a uniform and do great things. And I should say that I'm not in any way slighting Malachi Coleman and his talents. He's a great player. He's going to do a good job for someone else. It just won't be for Nebraska, and that's okay. Nebraska's going to be fine. In the final analysis, if a player like Malachi Coleman decides to play at Nebraska, but only because of his relationship with the guy that recruited him, a guy that's not the head coach, that is the flimsiest of reasons to play for a team. Coaches come and go. Guys that recruit players come and go. But if that's why you're playing, you're not really committed to the team in the first place. The term decommit that comes after the term commit is a term I don't like, because if you're going to commit to somebody, commit to the team. Coaches have come and gone. Mickey Joseph is not going to be the head coach. Matt Rule one day won't be the head coach. But despite all of that, Nebraska for the last 130 years has put great players on the field and won a whole lot of games with players not named Malachi Coleman. And that's not going to change because Malachi Coleman decommitted.